Hey, what's up, guys? Gribnum here. Just going to be showing you a little bit about this Krok'mar champion that they recently released with the latest batch of champions. Finishing up a Fire Knight match here for the Timid fusion going on. But take a look here. Krok'mar in the game, there is a 10x going on. Everybody knows. If you're watching this video later, then it's definitely over. But I got lucky and actually pulled him a couple of days ago during the Kaja the Rye event. So Kaja the Rye, Player actually had a really good idea of letting you just kind of, if you have the shards and have the sacreds and stuff, to just pull and get a lot of points, including a free-to-play path, which realistically wasn't free-to-play for flipping those cards. You did have to put out a lot of shards or spend some money, because you definitely weren't going to be completing that event with dungeon diving alone. There's no way. Take a look here. So we got Krok'mar the Devourer. I told you I did pull him the other day, and I'm going to show you a little bit about him. And I also want to compare him, not maybe by showing you multiple battles with other people, but just kind of compare him with other HP attacking champions, because that's what he's going to be doing. You all know his moves. He's going to be putting up increase crit rate, crit damage, and then getting an extra turn. So a lot of people are thinking they're going to build their Krok'mar with 70% crit rate, for example. Oh yeah, go 70% crit rate because you're going to be getting the extra 30% from your own ability. I think that if you're using him in dungeons and bosses and stuff, that's a good idea. Definitely go ahead and maybe do that. You could even leave it at 70 and go with a crit rate lead. I mean, there's some champions here who have a crit rate lead, if I can find one. Fortis has a arena crit rate. Bellinor has an all battles crit rate. There's a couple more, like Ruel the Huntsman or whatever. Anyway, I would just really suggest you push it still as high as you can go, because if you want to use this guy in arena, and as you see, I've almost got 100,000 HP, good speed on him, decent crit damage. It's okay, it's okay, but it's good enough right now to truly showcase the kind of damage he can do, in my opinion. And I got him in Instinct with some crit damage gears. You can see some of the stuff is pretty good. Pretty happy with it, and I got some HP percentage rolls on some of the stuff, actually on most of it. Now I'm gonna compare him real fast to a couple of HP champions. There is let's see if we can actually do this, and we're gonna sort by the champion type. Okay, so here we have a bunch of HP champions, mainly the ones that I've got now. I would compare him the closest, and I'm not really, I know his multipliers, they're decent. I'm not saying these multipliers are exactly the same as this person's multipliers, but the way I've had mine built, similarly, I would say he's most like Samson in his skills and in his damage. Samson's going to be doing almost the same thing on his A3. Extra turn with that increase to damage, comes in with a secondary attack on his A2 and just nukes everybody, which is cool. And Samson, though, while he's great and he has this stun ability, I wouldn't build Samson to be doing no stun on arena, because I mean that's where I might use Samson. But now that you got Krok'mar here, you're gonna boost yourself, take an extra turn, and you can continue doing those AoEs on the A1 with the maximum crit rate. The reason I'm saying go maximum crit rate, don't skimp out and go 70, is because I did a couple of matches in arena where The enemy was using Wukong or some other person who was stripping my buffs, putting block buffs, debuff on, making it impossible for me to actually consistently keep that crit damage buff on myself. So here's Krok'mar, pretty sick. Like I said, he's most close to Samson, especially with the affinity and all that stuff. Samson's slower, has a little more HP, like base HP. Where'd Krok'mar go? Yeah, so Krok'mar's a little faster. The best HP damage dealer we have here, I guess besides more too, AoE damage dealer nuking champion would be Eric's. Okay, Eric's just takes the cake. She's hitting hard as all hell with just about every ability she has, and she has that consistent AoE no matter what. But if you do need somebody to take out the force affinity champions, then I guess Krok'mar is a really good option there. A little thing to note here before I start showing you anything with Arena is his passive. We all know what it does, but did you know that with the A1, you're going to actually be hitting the same target 2 times? Because you're going to hit that target once and then do the AoE on everybody, so that first initial target, well, anyone you target actually, will get 10% decrease because you're hitting them twice. So this is actually going to proc twice on them. And again, you do not need, well, first time saying this, you do not need ally attack. You do not need any sort of counter attack champion. The reason I'm saying you don't need ally attack, you don't need counter attack, because if your main goal with Krok'mar is I need to use him quick and get him hitting as fast as he can, so I can use that passive, don't worry, he's going to be doing it pretty quick. What I'm saying there, I'm just gonna, this team right here could beat me if I'm using Krok'mar, but what I'm trying to say is he only needs to hit people up to at maximum 6 times, and the person you're targeting is getting hit twice usually, so he just has to hit the target 3 times, if anything. My math could be wrong on all that. Let's just do this. I'm gonna go in and do all this. I'm gonna get the buffs are gonna get taken by Wukong. You're gonna see this is just throwing this team together real fast. I need something to go fast to block damage real quick. Stolen. So you see right there, you're going against the Wukong. You're not going to get a chance to really pop this off, so don't skimp on the crit rate. Just max that stuff out. I'm going to go ahead and just hit with the A2 here. I mean, I've got that instinct set on, so hopefully I can be doing a good amount of damage. Yeah, I should have expected not to win this kind of thing. A lot of people are putting faith in him to be like dominating and hitting really hard, but the fact is he's not going to be hitting any harder than Samson does already. I'm going to go ahead and do this now just so I can cleanse that off myself, and I'm going to double hit. Oh, can't even. Got to go ahead and hit him, but I'm going to take out the Kandrafon real quick. This is kind of a bad match here. Let's go ahead. I'm actually going to do the A1 again because I do want to hit them as many times as I can here. But you would expect my Krok'mar to be hitting like astronomical with like the stats that I have, and we're dead, as you see there. Let me go ahead and try a different team here, different kind of team here. I'm up in the highest part of gold 5, so all these teams I'm going to see here are going to be pretty tough to beat. Yeah, I don't know if I'm beating really any of these guys. Here's what I'll do. Gonna take out him, just throw in a Tormund so we can stop him from getting all that turn meter. Go first. Just want to showcase the damage here. Here we go. Oh, and I froze the Mithrala. That's That's a bad thing when your Mythrawler gets debuffed. All right, see who I can kill. Nobody. And I know there is a damage reduction when there's a freeze out there. But you saw against Nishak, an attack-based champion, I didn't even kill him with Krok'mar. Kind of a little sad to see that. Let's see what's going on here. At least he tanked the hit from Hetfrak. All right, this next hit, I'm not even going to hit him with a Death Knight. This next hit should do something, some kind of damage. Hitting him there. You can see those damage numbers. But while I do like Krok'mar, and I think he's going to be really great in a Cruelty Blessing, which I don't have any Blessing on him at this time. All right, going to go ahead and finish them off. You see that decrease accuracy or whatever it said. It was decreasing their stats. Yeah, pretty good stuff. And I think the best place, if you're going to use them in Arena, the best kind of team to use them against would be some kind of defense-based team. So if you have a team like this here, absolutely I'm going to lose here. Unless you guys want to see me just put up a really strong defensive kind of team, I'll do that. Who should I use? I'm going to go... This is not a... Forget what I just said. This is not a strong defensive team. If I was going to do like a defensive team, I'd probably use Frolny here, Emic, and Pythion. But currently I've got all of my Pythion gear on my Kaja. And I'll show a little bit of Kaja here in another video. But for now, just something so I can hopefully stay alive. Let's get Krok'mar in here, get some HP. Actually, no, let's get speed lead on that. But I just want to show that he's going to be really best used against somebody like Harima, because she's defense based and it's just going to be decreasing the amount of damage she does and how defensive she is. And I want to actually open up with... Now I'll do the AoE. It makes more sense. Okay, decrease defense. Cool. I like that it says that it's decreasing their defense, but what I do not like is that it has that secondary red text just indicating that a stat was decreased. I wish it didn't have that, because I'm kind of paying attention, trying to read real quick, and the words and the letters float up kind of fast and out of the screen, and you can really not see it that well. Go ahead and cleanse these provokes off with Kaja. And I do want to show her off for sure in a video. I'll probably record right after this. Let's see what I can do here. And as you see, my Kaja's getting an extra turn because I got her in Relentless set. So I'll show her more off in a bit. But let's see this Krok'mar. Going to be hitting twice. Boom, boom. That's really nice. But as you see, I mean, he's best against Harima. Kind of style champion. But then at the same time, because of Harima's passive, it really just negates what you're trying to do, because you're already going to be doing way less than you want to be doing. Let's go ahead and do this. Decreasing the defense, all that stuff. Extra turn. Let's... thought I had that on cooldown. I do have Kaja completely booked, so I did Relentless set very fast. She's over 300 speed and really good HP, really good defense, extra turns, boosting turn meter, all that stuff. I don't like how squishy she is. The thing is, she's a little too squishy. That's why I want to reset back to her revive as quickly as possible, because she can only barely use it once sometimes. But I'll talk more about her later. So, boost that turn meter. And here I'm actually going to go ahead and maybe pause this and continue when there's a little more development. So let me pause it for a sec and I'll be right back. Okay, so not much time has passed, as you see, but I believe with this next hit I'm going to be taking out at least the Ultimate Death Knight, if not the Harima. Okay, got the Ultimate Death Knight. They're going to pick him back up, though. totally fine, because you know what? If you build your team right with life harvest on somebody, I've chosen Death Knight. You can put Polymorph on him. It's totally up to you. But I do have a lot of resistance on my Ultimate Death Knight that the chance of debuffing him and getting that Polymorph off, it's just kind of slim. So I just went with Life Harvest. Because a lot of times, he's going to be your last champion alive. And when that's the case and you're using Wukong with him, you need a way to kind of keep the enemy down eventually. I've won a lot of battles where... Alright, so we saw that. We saw all the damage I was doing. Krok'mar kind of pulling through. Pretty nice stuff. I wouldn't say that this person I just faced was anything special or top tier, but having Harima alone does really push your account up quite a bit in its capabilities. So don't sleep on Harima if you got her. Build her correctly, and she's really got a chance to escalate your arena team just regardless, anywhere. So I hope that really helped you. I do want to actually show you a few more things here. I have been using Krok'mar in Clan Boss. Whenever I get a new champion, I like to test them out in my Clan Boss and see where they can fit. Maybe they can push my damage. He's currently right here. He's where Iron Brago normally is. So normally with Iron Brago, I'm hitting about 70 to 80 million, maybe a little more, around 80 million plus on just a one key. Here I've gotten... Oh, I should have waited 10 minutes to do this. Show you guys a brutal key, That's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to pause here, come back in 10 minutes, and show you guys a brutal... just the stats on a brutal completion real quick. All right, now we're back here. It's been about 10 minutes or so, and I'm gonna just kind of jump into brutal and show you guys the damage that he can kind of be doing with each hit. I'm not gonna jump into Ultra Nightmare, but I will show you though. I took a screenshot of the damage that we did this morning. Here is what that should look like. As we see, Krok'mar did 11 million. It was, of course, Void Affinity. If we had hit the Ultra Nightmare right now, it's Magic Affinity for me. So that would be bad for Krok'mar and for Newt, who's on my team. Krok'mar probably would do like 3 million damage total against the Magic Affinity. Hate to say it. Even though he's built the way I've built him here, that we saw, he's just not hitting like you think. But the cool thing about him, and we're going to jump into here, and I'm going to show you real quick. I'm not going to finish the whole fight like this, where we get to watch it. I'm going to slow it down a little bit at the beginning. I'm just going to show you guys the damage he can do, and then afterwards, I'm just going to go ahead and put it on auto clear, that new feature we got. So of course Nut's gonna go in, Newt's gonna go in. Krok'mar here, double hit with the A1. I think I have him so he does his A1 first, just to throw it out there. I don't know why. I could change it. It doesn't really matter. He did about 80 to 85 on the A1. Let's go ahead and speed this up. He's gonna go ahead and there's Razavar doing the same damage on his A1. Gets the buff out. 133,000 damage on his A2 after the buffs. And as you can see, attack decreased was popping up there. He's decreasing the clan boss's attack. I think he's already done it enough here. This next hit, you're not going to see him decrease the attack again. There's one. Okay, so he hit twice and he only did it once. So now you won't see him decrease the attack anymore. That's he's already maxed out his passive for doing that. 30%. You can only reduce someone's stats by 30% depending on which one's higher. So when you stack the... See, it didn't do it there. So you see I have the decrease attack debuff on him already. That's great. That's perfect. You do want that on a clan boss team. But plus the 30% decrease attack, that's kind of his big use there. So I will say he's not going to be providing as much damage as Iron Brago was. And obviously there's no defense buff or increased defense from Brago's passive. He is overall lowering the clan boss's damage, and I've noticed my team has actually reached higher turn count. So on that screenshot I showed you, I'm actually going to pop that up real fast while this is playing. 67 turns. I know that the auto battler thing where you do an auto battle, the turn count is a little weird because it's just going to generate the fight how it sees fit. I know that can be a little weird sometimes, because you could actually have the clan quest that says survive 50 or 49 turns on Ultra Nightmare, and you'll notice you've survived 51 or 52 after the auto battle, and you don't even get the completion of the of that clan quest, which is kind of weird. So I know there's something weird about doing the auto battle and the turns not really lining up, but I trust that if it's saying that 67 turns survived, it's more than I've noticed ever from this team alone. But as you see, 100,000, 95,000, he's hitting a little harder here, which is really cool. Really nice. Got the Lydia buffs up there. And I know you guys are probably thinking, why do you have Emic on your team? Or what is Emic doing? I got my Emic. He's kind of cracked out. I'll probably show a video on him as well. I'm going to go ahead and finish out this fight here. And we're going to look at the results. 100,000, 101,000 on the A1. Perfect. All right. Here we go. Okay. And we're back. I closed the game out, reopened it, and did the auto battler there. So 178 million. This is only brutal. I know it's not Ultra Nightmare, but I showed you the stats on that run that I did, Ultra Nightmare. And just showing that he can do some good damage here. At least help you survive more turns than you may have. Okay, so 68 million with Newt. Pretty good damage on Newt. My Razlavarg is cracked out of his mind. He's so fast. He's hitting super hard. You guys saw like 300,000 damage or more on his A1. Yeah, so pretty sick stuff. Continue there. I want to show you guys a little bit more. What do I want to show you guys? Arena, no. Maybe just go back over at Krok'mar real quick. If any of you guys have pulled Krok'mar during the 10X, that's awesome. I got super lucky and ended up just getting him when I was opening shards for the Kaja the Rye. In fact, he was the first shard sacred that I pulled that day and got him. 80808 on the power, kind of interesting. I did not show the masteries. Here's what I got on him. I forgot to finish out the final one. The final mastery, you could actually go with both of these, Spirit Haste and Lasting Gifts if you want. If you just didn't feel like picking up both of these on the offensive tier 5. But what I'm going to actually be choosing is Lasting Gifts, because though the increased crit rate, crit damage for 3 turns is awesome, getting a 4 turn on that by coincidence with Lasting Gifts would just be fantastic, so that nobody runs out of crit rate boost if they need it. Anyway, so check out these masteries if you need any help knowing what to do, or try your own. You're free to do whatever you guys want, but I'd like to show a different way of playing the game and just show what I would do. Now, for a blessing, and you can see I haven't even finished booking him out. I was going to book the hell out of him, but I realized I had about 11 books, and I was about to pull Kaja during the Champion Chase event, and I was going to throw all those books on her. So I saved them, put them on her, put a few on him. Anyway, blessing wise, we all know what we'd probably go do. Cruelty here, it's going to go ahead and add more of that defense decrease to when he hits people. So he's going to be doing, what is it? At a tier 6, a level 6-star blessing, up to 40% on champions. He's going to reduce their defense by 40% on top of the 30% he's doing here. Depending on if the champion has a higher attack or defense. Because, maybe he's going to be reducing someone's attack, but you never know. Anyway, that is Krok'mar the Devourer. If you pull him, fantastic. Let me know what you think about him. If you have a better build than I have here, maybe in Savage or Lethal, perfect. Love to hear about it. This is just the best instinct gear I had that had HP, had a lot of HP and some speed. In fact, when I go ahead and pull Timit here in like the next day or so, because I'm about to have all the fragments for Timit, I'm going to probably take the gear off of Krok'mar and put it on Timit for testing. Anyway, thanks for checking out the video, guys. Leave a like, whatever you want to do. And let me know how you built out your Krok'mar if you pulled them. All right.